2025, without a doubt, has been the year of the AI agent. From voice agents that you can communicate with via telephone to research agents like that of OpenAI or Google or Perplexity's deep research agent to AI powered workflows with agentic elements to them that you can put together with automation platforms like Make.com or N8N. These agents have taken various forms and they continue to elevate and increase in their functionality. Now, in the past few weeks, there's been a new kind of agent that is starting to impact the way that we interact not only with AI, but with the computer and internet in general. And those are browser agents. Now, we've seen, for example, OpenAI's operator agent that can take over your browser and go onto different websites and bring you back a result or accomplish a particular task for you. It hasn't been the greatest, but it kind of shows you where these agents in general can go. There have also been other browser-based agents like Convergence AI, which can do similar kinds of tasks. It was a little bit more of a user friendly and they took more consideration into the user experience for their platform. And you could have it, for example, go on to the New York Times. You can create a goal for it to go on to the New York Times, scrape an article, and then post a summary of it on a Google Doc in your Google Drive, for example. You give it a task, you prompt for that task to complete, and then it uses it's an agent that will then complete that task or maybe work with agents or parallel agents to accomplish that task. Now, the sort of evolution of these browser-based agents, I would say, are agentic browsers. So we have Perplexity's Comet, which officially launched a few weeks ago, and invitations for it are still rolling out. I got my invitation after being on the wait list maybe about 2 weeks ago, and I've had some time to play around with it. And then you have DIA browser, which DIA is a rebrand of another browser that was kind of a competitor to Google Chrome and Firefox. And DIA browser and Comet are both very similar in that they are agentic browsers to where you can actually communicate with your files, communicate while you're on different websites, and it sort of takes tabs of your activity on the internet and will understand your patterns so that it'll make it easier for you when you are doing tasks that you are consistently, when you are performing tasks that you do consistently. And it just, in general, makes it easier to operate online with AI. And so in this video, I want to just kind of go through the user experience of DIA browser and Perplexity Comet to show what some of the things that you can do with both the platforms. And also just to kind of compare and contrast and the quality of each of the browsers. So starting with Perplexity, and we can kind of go back and forth between the two. So Perplexity's Comet, when you sign on, it first of all will actually carry over everything that you have on Google Chrome. So if you see at the top right here, all my crypto wallets and some of my bookmarks are here that came from my Google Chrome. The homepage is, as you can imagine, is Perplexity, and in at the top right there's an assistant. So this assistant right here, which you can click off and on, it's a chat window similar to a Chat GPT or what you would see on Perplexity. So I could ask this chat something. Maybe it's about what is on the web page that I'm on. So for example, we see here this first article about Trump ordered shifts homeless policy from housing to removal. I could ask this chat, for example, can you tell me more about the article about the Trump order and its impact on the homeless policy? Just first thing I can kind of see here. So you see here it says gathering details, information about the article. So it's on this site, and it's now even looking up other articles around that. It'll show you the sources, and then it'll actually give you a summary about that, a response about that. So whereas typically this is something that you would do within the Perplexity site, you now have this chat that will go with you everywhere. If I were to go to let's say, yeah, if I were to go to youtube.com and I will pull up this article, or rather this of Young G's Atlanta, I can communicate with this chat and say something like, what concert are GE and Akon performing in, and it'll do some research on this, and you can get information about it. Jeezy and Akon performed together at the TM101 Live 50th anniversary concert in Atlanta, and so this can be used for really any sort of scenario, right? So this is a scenario where I didn't know what this was. Rather than having to go to Google, Chrome, or wherever, Google.com, I can get the information to whatever I need in that moment. This is really great for, let's say I type in Python for beginners. If I'm in the process of learning
In this Python tutorial, you're going to learn everything you need to know.
I get to a certain part in the video,
So the result
and
is
it's
correct.
talking about
Now, let's
something
add
that I just
a
don't
label
know
over
or
here.
I'm unfamiliar with.
So some,
I can go to the chat and I can just ask it questions, and so now I can learn in real time. So that assistant that's always with you is very helpful, and then you can literally call in different tabs. So in here I have this YouTube tab open, but let's say I also had I don't know, Twitter open. I could then also, call in. I could call in the YouTube uh, video that I was watching, and then I can combine it with other tabs that I have open and ask questions. So I can pull in for context the different sites that I'm on. I can pull in documents. I can take a screenshot and then add that into the chat window, and then continue to communicate that way. And so it really impacts how you're able to communicate and engage with AI. And the more you use it, the more it starts to become more natural in what you do. One use case that I'm starting to explore it with is putting together newsletters weekly. I go through on a day-to-day basis just what's kind of happening in the AI space, and I put it onto a Notion. And at the end of the week, I then go and put together one of my partners was putting together uh, a newsletter of all the information from the week. But something that I'm now exploring is putting together that very same newsletter with the assistance of Comet, and Comet actually going through the different rows on that. I can actually pull up the sheet. Comet going through the different rows of the news items and what kind of caught our attention for the week, and actually put together the newsletter, which come from these different links on that sheet. And so you're now at a point where you can start to delegate like real work to these AI agents. And so this is the Perplexity Comet agent agentic browser, and they're now in direct competition with your Googles, right? And Google Chrome and Firefox. And recently, OpenAI announced that they themselves may actually be launching their own web browser. And I imagine it's in response to kind of the energy that we're seeing around Perplexity and the like. Now, DIA browser is very similar in how it works. At the top right, you can see here this personalized button right here. If you click on it, the browser will actually adhere to the instructions that you give it. So you can create these different, they call them skills. And so I put his here, kind of randomly. I'm a big hip hop fan, but ask me who inspires you or shapes your taste. I said Dej Love. And you can define how you want the browser to interact with you, to interact in general, how you want it to write, and then it can also even code. So, for example, if I close out of here, and then I could say something like, "Help me draft a landing page for my website using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript," and it'll literally start to actually code it. This is right off the browser. The same way you go onto a Google.com and type in a query on Google, you could just type this browser. Its chat box is AI, is a AI, is an LLM, was powered by an LLM. So you can just type your queries in the way you would type your query in, chat GPT. And so you get to the end here, and in this case, it's not going to show you the visual, but the fact that you can use this as an LLM, you can speak into it with your voice. Perplexity also has that feature. You can call in different tabs the same way you can in Perplexity. You can also upload information from your computer, which is also very useful. And then let's say you open another tab. If I go on to I don't know, let's say Apify.com. Am I logged in here? Okay, cool. I'm logged in here. So I go on to Apify.com. Similar to Perplexity at the top right, and this happens when you open up a new tab. There's a chat box right here, and then you can communicate with that chat box. The same, again, similar to Perplexity, you can do the personalization from the chat box as well. You can open up new chat boxes, and so yeah, very similar to how Perplexity works. As far as the quality of the two, in the case of Perplexity, it's the models that it uses, I believe, are more effective. I'm pretty sure that the app, I'm pretty sure that the DIA browser uses, I want to say, I don't know if it's GPT 3.5, I don't know if it's GPT 4.0, but the models that Perplexity is using are more quality ones, as a more quality model. So that's something to think about. But I'm at a point now where I'm using both browsers. I literally will have Perplexity Comet open for one task or one area of my business or life, and then I'll have the DIA browser open for another task, or even just like for a particular client's work that I'm dealing with. And then I still also have Google Chrome and Firefox and these other browsers open as well. I pretty much use all of them, but the AI powered nature of these, and I know that as time goes on, the way you'll be able to wield them, as I mentioned, I'm now starting to explore the Comet and DIA as a way of being able to delegate tasks to AI to do, and then the tech will also they will also continue to add more features and iterate, and then we're going to see competing browsers, agentic browsers. As I mentioned, OpenAI is launching one, and so we'll see where this all goes. I think it's very interesting because I feel like the way that these browsers are currently isn't the most optimal or ideal way to be interacting with AI. Like I feel like an AI first and an AI native world, we need to have a reimagining of how we just interact with the internet in general and how we move in these different spaces. Maybe it's a lot more voice. Maybe it's there aren't even any interfaces like this. But I think as a transition or as a next step from where we're kind of coming from, kind of like in the pre-AI world to where we're at now, which is in an AI, field world. This is very useful, it's very valuable, and it'll continue to evolve. So, let me know what you think about Comet and DIA. Comet's rolling out invites actively now; it's rolling, and then DIA, you can download that at any time, and so. I believe it is the Arc browser is what it's rebranding from. So there we go, DIA browser and Perplexity's Comet browser.